But if we wanted 10 things in a house, this house had about 8 of them. And I wouldn't hand over the phone to Vini unless it had that many. If the house had like 3 or 4 things that we liked, he wouldn't go for it. But I remember handing the phone over to him, and your face kind of lit up. You were like, And so that was on a Wednesday. We called our friend who was a realtor and said, hey, can you show us this house tomorrow? And she said, yeah, I'll get the keys. And we were under contract by Saturday.
It wasn't something you were thinking about. So after you went under the contract, was it stressful?
The biggest thing for stress was trying to figure out what we were going to do because the house that we were with, we had refinanced to our mortgage rate's 2.9%. Is that right?
During the pandemic.
Yeah. And we were about to own it in 4-ish years. So that thought had been just very appealing to me, and that was a big reason why I was just always challenging the thought of even moving out of there, because it's like we only have a few more years and then we won't even have a mortgage payment anymore. So that side of it was something that we needed to figure out. But as we kind of worked through it and found out some things about how we were going to finance for the new house, we were able to really make it happen just to keep the old house and rent it out. So
as an investment.
Yeah.
And this is very telling of our personalities and stuff. He's very much like the logistically minded, thinking about what makes sense, what's practical, how can we, make the best decision about financially for our family. And I'm interested in that too, but I am also very nostalgically connected with that house. It was our first house, brought all 3 of our babies home in it. A lot of really special things. I'm gonna get teary. A lot of special things happened there. It was like, that was the last place I saw my brother before he passed away. So I was having a tough time even with the idea of letting it go.
Because it was a spiritual connection.
Even if it did make more financial sense to let it go. But we were fortunately able to work it out to where we were able to keep it. And I even dreamed that we would rent it out to a little family with kids, because it's a very kid-friendly house. And we did. We had a young couple and their 2-year-old daughter are there right now. And we were able to work it out. So.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't with some help from our parents. They definitely gave us a good, either a loan or like a hold on to this, pay us back whenever type stuff, or kind of, my parents also helped. Both of our parents helped tremendously. So we wouldn't have been able to do that and, keep that asset, long term that we, will hopefully have some really good benefit out of.
What do you like about the new house?
What do I like about the new house? Well, this wasn't when we moved in, but I wanted a playground. I wanted to keep the pool in our backyard, but I realized that was a lot of work. But we got a playground now.
Oh, playgrounds are special. I totally understand. I spend a lot of time with my daughter, who's 7, at the playground, so I get it.
Well, it wasn't that sturdy, so I didn't play in it that much, so it doesn't crash on me.
Hey, I like the way you think. You're thinking about safety. Do I see risk management in the future parents?
Yeah. Mom and Dad are going, sometime soon, are going to set up a line, like a playground line. It's like an obstacle course. You hang it up on the trees, and that's what I want to do, for me. And then the other boys can just do everything on the playground.
So you have a plan. Y'all making a plan. We get to the house, and
because we barely had time to settle in before a car crashed into the house.
Wow.
We were kind of uprooted. So we were.
Me and Mom, I started crying too.
Yeah, we all started crying. That was very, very sudden, obviously unplanned.
I actually don't know why I was crying.
Well, it was a big event.
Yeah.
We had just moved in 5 weeks prior, and so things are still in boxes. And then just kind of randomly, a car crashed into our house, the new one, and we had to move again because the house was condemned because just the structural integrity of it was not good because the car crashed into it. Everybody was fine. Nobody was hurt.
The dogs were fine.
Dogs were fine. The driver was fine. Our passenger was fine. We actually weren't home when it happened.
We were home. You were there about 30 minutes before it happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but
We could have been home, but
if the car crashed right through the middle of the front door,
We just painted it yellow.
and definitely would have seriously hurt somebody if somebody was been standing there, because the lady just kind of lost control of the vehicle and she
got
stepped on the gas instead of the brake and got them switched around, and then pretty much the only thing that stopped her was our house.
Wow.
So
At least it stopped.
so getting that call was, I remember that day, getting a call from a police officer. I thought, somebody was pranking me. I thought it was one of my friends, figured out something online to change the voice. And once he said some, specific things, and, you kind of like, okay, well, we got to take this seriously, and then we got the kids.
we were at our old house.
We were
Giving a
showing,
tour
doing a
to a
tour
renter,
to a
potential
potential renter,
renter.
and said, look, we gotta go. Like, it was, Audrie really thought she's good, kind of thinking on her feet. We got the kids to stay with a friend, so that way they wouldn't see what happened with the car in there. So that was great, that we had somebody there
Called my
to help
parents
us out.
to just come up and be with us, help us in whatever way they could, because we didn't know if we could go into the house. We didn't, before we went to go see, we didn't know. We didn't know what it looked like. We didn't know if the car had, if the house burned down. We didn't know. But we got there and they told us we could go inside and get some things. But both sets of our parents are nearby in Winston and Pittsburgh, and so I called my parents and they came up, and they were obviously instrumental in us getting through the next few months.
Thank you for listening to this story from the Institute for Family Shine On North Carolina campaign. Hear the full story and discover how you can share your own by visiting our website at instituteforfamily.org.